We have started to understand Python classes and objects. So, what is meant by methods that we have seen last time? So, this is the last program which we have seen in last session. So, just I am revising again so that we can start from this program. So, we use the class. Class is name of class is our person. So, colon represents start of the definition of class. So, two functions are defined in this person class. Okay, first is our init function and second is myfunc. So myfunc is our method in the class. Okay, myfunc is method in our class. So init is our function. This function will be called automatically when object is created. So object is getting created in step number 14. Okay, so p1 is my object, person is my class. So object we are creating over here, this is our init function, so which will be helping us to whatever parameters will be passing from the main script. So all those values will be stored in the name and age, which are properties of this person, and this name and age we can use in our myfunc function with the help of self parameter. So self parameter will be using in init function, which will help us to uh, assign the values which will be coming from the main script, and these values will be assigned in name and age, these two variables, and these two parameters we can use in our user defined function. Name of that function is myfunc. For example, so P1 is our object, okay, is equal to assignment operator, person is our name of the class, and in the round bracket we'll be passing arguments. So first argument is RAM, second argument is 36. RAM is the, let us call it as name, and 36 is 36 is the age. So these two parameters, these two arguments will be passing. uh, these arguments will be respectively stored in this name and age, and because of this init function, what happens, name and age will become property of the person, so it will get stored here. And when we'll be defining our user defined function myfunc, so myfunc in the round bracket parameter, first parameter from this init function, which is self, that will be passing over here as a parameter again, because of which these properties name and age of the person class we can use in our myfunc user defined function. So hello my name is plus symbol we can use to combine two strings, because name is also string. So self, okay, self dot name it will represent ram, and self dot age it will represent age 36. So if I will execute, but this is our, okay, myfunc is user defined function which needs to be called with the help of object p1. So p1 object we have created over here, so with the help of p1 object we can call, we can execute this myfunc function, because of which statement number 15 is helping us to call myfunc function, which is method of class person. So p1 dot myfunc, because of which these two statements will be executed, and to execute these two statements, information will be carried from the init function. So I'm executing this program, we'll get output uh, console in this way. So hello, my name is Ram. So this value which we have passed while creating the object, that value we can access from the myfunc function, and age is 36. So this age 36 also we can access, which is actually property of person, and that we are accessing from the user defined function myfunc. So that we have seen last time. Let us move towards next program, that is 4.py for this classes and object. Now let us understand, okay, self parameter. So self parameter is a reference to the current instance of the class, okay, and is used to access the variables that belongs to the class. That we have seen with the help of self parameter. What we can do, we can access, we can access our parameters, okay, which are present in the in entire function, we can use it, okay, entire function we can use it. So it does not have to be named self. So every time we should not supposed to use self, another name also we can write. That is the meaning. It means self parameter should not be self. We can use another parameter also. We can call it whenever you like, okay, but it has to be the first parameter of any function in the class. But in the function, okay, in the init function, instead of writing self, any other name also we can write, but that name, that parameter should be the first parameter, which will actually work similar to our self parameter. So let us understand again. So class, again, class name of class is person, okay, colon represents start of the definition of class. And here also again two functions are defined. First one is init, second is myfunc, okay. Object is created over here, then function, user defined function or method of person class, which is myfunc, that we have called with the help of object p1. So same program, only what we'll be doing, instead of using self parameter, another parameter, another name of the variable we are using, name of that variable is my object. So instead of self, we can use my object. So first parameter will work similar to our self parameter. That is the meaning. So my object will work similar to our self parameter. Okay, then comma, name and age, and remaining part will remain as it is. So my object dot name is equal to name. Okay, my object dot age is equal to age. So here what will happen? Def, it means we are defining our function. Okay, a user defined function, and APC. This APC will work again similar to our self. So it will represent, it will point my object, which is our self parameter over here. So similarly it will work ABC. So ABC will represent again this my object. It will be considered as first parameter. So hello, my name is, okay, plus ABC dot name. It means ABC is our my object, and because of which it will become, okay, proper, it means properties of this person class, which are name and age. These properties we can use in user defined function myfunc. Similarly, so I'm executing this program, will get same kind of output, okay. So these two statements will be executed because of this because of this statement 19, statement number 19, p1 dot myfunc. So this is actually calling of method, and that method is myfunc, which is part of person class. And as it is user defined function, so we need to call it, because of which we are calling it with object p1 dot myfunc, and these two statements will be executed, which will be displayed over here on the output console. Okay, so after this, if suppose you want to modify, okay, that is also possible. We can modify the object properties. For example, instead of name ram, if suppose after this, okay, from line number 22 onwards, I want to change, instead of ram I want to consider property or value of that property as Rahul, and age which we have entered 36, that also I want to modify. So it is possible we can modify our object properties, and that can be done with the help of these two statements. In this way we can modify our object. For example, when I will write p1 is my object, okay, p1 dot name, so this is the property, okay, name is the property, age is the property, okay, of the class person. So these properties we can change, properties we can modify at any point of time in the program, and that can be done in this way. So p1 dot name is equal to, as it is string, so we can write in double quotes, instead of ram we are writing Rahul, okay. Again, second property also we are changing, that can be modified, okay. How it can be modified? So p1 dot age is equal to 40, where age was 36, that we modified over here. So 40, it will become 40. And if we'll write, okay, print statement, if we'll write print statement, and because of this print statement, if we are printing our result, in that case, because of these two statements, we modified our objects, and recent values which we have stored, which we have saved in our uh, uh, in our properties, these values will be stored, and it will display the result, okay. So P1 dot name, it will represent this Rahul, because of which here you will be getting Rahul is your, okay, changed name, is your changed name. And this is the age, P1 dot age, so it will display this 40 number. 40 is your modified age, okay, 40 is your modified age. In this way, what we can do, we can modify the object properties. That is possible at any point of time. We can modify the object properties. Here properties are nothing but name and age. These are the properties of person class, okay, name and age, these are the properties of person class. And once object is created, certain values, certain arguments it will be passing. And later on, if suppose you want to modify your object properties, that is possible. So simply what you need to do, name of the object, then name of the property is equal to then assignment operator. After this assignment operator, whatever value will be storing, it gets stored, and in this way properties can be changed. Now let us understand deleting the object. What is mean by deleting the object? We can delete, okay, properties on objects by using the del keyword. So del keyword we have seen, where particular values can be deleted. So I'm removing, okay, comment from this line. And if I will write, okay, del is keyword, then one blank space, p1 dot age. So p1 dot age, so p1 is my object dot age is my property, okay, property of this class person. So because of which what I'm doing, so statement number 32 will help us to delete our property, which belongs to, okay, class person and object p1. So del p1 dot age, because of this statement we are deleting our object property. And after this deletion, if suppose I want to access what is the value of p1 dot age, if I want to check it, really that property has been deleted or not. That's why this statement number 33 we have written, because of which we'll understand really this uh, mm, property, okay, object property has been deleted or not from the Python's interpreter. That will be checking with the help of statement number 33. So I am executing this program, will get, okay, error. So print p1 dot age, attribute error, person object has no attribute age. So person, it means this age property is not available now, because of which person object has no attribute age. Such kind of attribute error will be displayed by the machine. It means because of this statement number 32, we have deleted our object property, okay. Object is our age, and sorry, object is our p1 is our object, and age is our property. So object property, suppose we want to delete, so p1 dot age, and before this p1 dot age we can write, okay, we can use our del keyword, del keyword, because of which particular object property can be deleted from the uh, Python's interpreter or its memory. Okay, entire object, if suppose we want to delete, in that case here we deleted particular property, object property we deleted. And if suppose entire object I want to delete, that is also possible. Entire object also we can delete with the help of del keyword again. So simply this is the statement number 39, where we will be deleting entire p1 object. So del p1 means what? Entire object which we have created over here, okay, that p1 object gets deleted. And in this way what we can do, entire object also, if suppose we want to delete that object also, we can delete with the help of keyword. And if particular object property, if we want to delete, that can be deleted with the help of object and then name of the property. In between dot operator is used. So in this way we can delete our object properties, as well as we can delete entire object. So that we have seen in this 4.py. So in 4.py we understood, okay, instead of self parameter, any variable we can use. But what we should do, so before this comma, it means this parameter should be the first parameter, which will work similar to our self parameter. Any name we can write. any name we can give. So same name we are writing instead of self, my object, my object, then dot name. So this will become, name will become, age will become properties of this person class, and value of name and age will be coming from the main script when object is created as init function. Speciality of init function is what, when object is created and if certain arguments will be passing, so all those values get stored because of this init function. When object is created, automatically this init function gets executed or called automatically, and properties which will be passing from the main script, it will be stored in the properties of the person class. And these properties later on we can use in our user defined function that we have seen. So my object, and here abc is our parameter. Okay, abc is our parameter which will work similar to our self. So here my object, entire my object, okay, which is our self parameter, it will be stored, it will be assigned in this abc, and abc will become, okay, abc will point all those properties which are properties of this class person. And in this way we can access the information or data which is present in the init function, that can be accessed from this myfunc function. Later on, we have understood how to modify the object properties. So object properties can be modified at any point of time. So P1 is our object, dot name is our property. So in this name, if suppose I want to modify, I want to change the name of the person or student, then Rahul we can write as a string. Then P1 dot age also we can change at any point of time. From this we can understand, we can modify our object properties at any point of time. We can delete our object properties. Deleting object properties can be done with the help of del keyword. So del keyword we can write. Then after this one blank space, then p1 dot age, entire attribute. If suppose we want to delete, okay, that can be deleted with the help of object property, with the help of del keyword. So with the help of del keyword, we can delete entire object property. So similarly, I can write, okay, one more example, del then p1 dot name. So because of this statement, what will happen? Name property, name is the property of class. Okay, name is the property of class person. Name is the property of class person, and that object property, if suppose I want to delete, I can write del keyword then one blank space p1 dot name. So in this way we can delete our object properties. And if suppose we want to delete entire object which we have created, p1 is our object where that we have created at this line number 18, and this object if suppose I want to delete, so simply del keyword again, it is helpful for us, which will delete our entire object. So del we can write then one blank space and name of the object. So P1 is our object for class person. So because of this statement number 40, we can delete our object. Entire object can be deleted. So let us go to last program 5.py. Okay, actually here we'll understand class definitions. Okay, we cannot keep it as empty. So here also this we have understood already. Okay. Mm, if suppose class definitions we uh, cannot be empty, and if suppose we want to make it empty, in that case if we'll not be writing anything, so it will be giving error that we have seen. Okay, to avoid this error, unexpected eof while parsing, so in that case what we'll be doing, we'll be writing our statement, and that name of statement is pass statement. So now pass statement, to avoid the to avoid error, okay, we can write, uh, so pass statement basically will be using if certain body or a block of statements, if we want to keep them as empty, in that case pass statement can be written. Okay, so person is my class. Okay, person is my class, and in this class I don't want to write any statement. I don't want to use any kind of property. I don't want to use any kind of method. So in such cases, instead of keeping it blank, if we'll be keeping that class definition blank, in that case we'll be getting error, syntax error, unexpected eof while parsing. So to avoid such kind of error, what we'll be doing, simply pass statement if we'll write, so it will not give any kind of error, so that error can be avoided. That is the use of pass statement. Okay. So here we have understood what is meant by Python classes and objects, and what is their role. Okay, what is the role of class and object that we have seen. Now let us understand what is meant by inheritance. Okay. So inheritance means what? If suppose one class we have, and from that class if we'll be deriving another class, new class, then that derived class is called, that new class is called as child class, and class from which we are deriving class, that class is called as base class or parent class. So inheritance allows us to define a class that inherits, okay, all methods and properties from another class, and here another class will be our parent class or base class. See, here many times what will happen, we'll be using one class, and for that class we'll be writing our properties, okay, some methods will be writing. So can I use those properties and methods in another class? It is possible. Only what we need to do, we need to inherit, okay, we need to inherit properties and method of one class into another class, and that is possible because of this inheritance concept that we have seen in C++ also. Similar concept, same kind of concept, uh, we will be understanding in Python, where what we'll be doing, we are defining a class, and that we are inheriting, okay, all methods and properties into another class. That is possible because of this uh, inheritance concept, and how it can be done, that we'll see. Okay, parent class is the class being inherited, okay, from, also called as base class. It means if suppose properties and methods we will be inheriting from our main class, and that main class will be calling it as base class, okay, parent class. uh, त्या पॅरेंट क्लास मधल्या, ओके, प्रॉपर्टीज आणि मेथड्स ह्या दुसऱ्या क्लासमध्ये वापरायच्या, त्यावेळेस तो जो काही बेस क्लास असणार आहे त्यालाच आपण पॅरेंट क्लास म्हणणार आहे. ओके, from that class we can inherit our properties and methods into another class, and child class is the class that inherits from another class. Okay, from another class we can derive new class. That new class is called as child class or derived class. So let us understand with example, and this is called as inheritance. And because of this inheritance concept, what will happen, so different properties and methods which already we have defined for one class, so these properties and methods I can use in child class or derived class, which will be deriving from our base class or parent class, in short. Okay, this is nothing but inheritance. So let us understand with example. Okay, so class, name of class is person, colon represents, okay, start of the definition of class person. So two functions we have defined. Init is our first function. By default it will be executed when object is created, that we have seen. Okay, second function, second user defined function is print name. So print name function is helping us to display the first name and last name. Okay, to display first name and last name, this print function we will be using, we have defined. And self parameter we used over here. Okay, instead of self, another parameter also we can use, that we have seen in previous programs. So normally, generally, what we'll be doing, so self parameter will be using, because of which we'll understand how to inherit. Okay, how to use properties in the user defined function. So because of this self parameter, what we'll be doing, so properties of first name and last name, these are the properties of person class, and f name and l name, these are the parameters whose value will be coming from the main script. Okay, uh, and these values will be assigned to the properties first name and last name, and this is possible because of this init function, which will work as, okay, constructor. So this such kind of concept we have seen in C++, where parameterized constructor will be using. So constructor, when object is, okay, when object is created, at that time what happens, constructor gets executed automatically. Similarly here what will happen, init function gets executed when object is created, and here init function is helping us whatever values will be passing from our main script. Okay, these values will be accepted in the form of arguments. Okay, these values will be accepted in the form of arguments, and later on what we'll be doing with the help of this self parameter. So person will have some properties, so first name and last name, these are the properties of this person. So these properties, values which will be passing from the main script, these values will be given to the properties. Okay, first name and last name, and later on with the help of this self parameter, okay, that self parameter can become, okay, argument for the user defined function such as a print name. So self parameter is parameter self is parameter for this print name function, and with the help of this self which will be becoming, okay, object. So self dot first name will represent, okay, uh, property of this class person, and comma then self dot last name, again last name which is property of this person. So in this way what will happen, we can use, okay, properties of class in the user defined function print name. So print name is our method. So in this way two functions we have defined in this person class. Then what we'll be doing, fn is our variable is equal to input function we'll be using, and in the round bracket what we'll be doing, particular message can be displayed on the output console, because of which this message will be displayed and input will be accepted. Now by default input will be accepted in the form of string that we have seen. Okay, so fn is our Python variable. Input is standard built-in method which will be helping us to accept certain input through the keyboard, and this message will be displayed on the output console. So please enter first name. We can enter first name through keyboard. Whatever name will be entering, it will be accepted in the form of string and it will be stored in fn. Similarly, last name last name also will be accepted from our side. Okay, it will be stored in ln, and x is our, okay, object. X is our object for this person class. X is our object for this person class. Okay, so x is equal to assignment operator name of the class person, and in the round bracket arguments will be passing. So arguments are fn and ln. Fn represents first name and ln represents last name. So two arguments will be passing over here. This is my class, x is my object. So fn and ln, values of fn and ln which will be entering through keyboard in this case. Okay, which will be entering through keyboard, these values get passed, okay, in the properties of first name and last name, and this first name and last name properties can be used in the user defined function print name by using this self parameter. So because of this what will happen, it will display, okay, it will display first name and last name on the output console because of this print name function. I'm executing this program. Let us check. So first of all, we'll be entering first name. Say Rahul is first name. Then it will ask, please enter last name. So we'll be entering, sorry, in this. So after this, if I will press enter key, because of which what will happen, fn and ln values. So fn value is Rahul. Okay, ln value is Shinde. These two values will be passed over here in the init function, and it will be stored in the properties of class first name and last name, and these first name and last name values will be using in this print method where we are printing first name then last name. So it will display Rahul Shinde on the output console. So this statement will be executed and it will get, okay, Rahul Shinde on the output console. Sorry, we will press enter key. So Rahul Shinde gets displayed on the output console. In this way, what happens? Inheritance. Okay. So this is the first part where we understood. Okay, already, but only what we'll be doing through keyboard. If suppose can we input the values? So directly also we can pass our arguments or values information directly while creating the object that we have seen here. This is the another example I wanted to show you where what we can do, we can accept, okay, certain information through in the form of okay, or with the help of keyboard. So first name and last name where we entered because of uh, with the help of keyword that we have seen. So here we haven't used, okay, first thing here we haven't used inheritance concept. Simply what we understood over here. So instead of entering okay arguments or information directly here while creating the object, what we'll be doing with the help of keyboard also, if suppose we can accept our values which will be entering through keyboard, that is also possible, that we have seen. Okay, now in next program we'll understand uh, inheritance concept, where what we'll be doing, again same program I have copied over here. Okay, this is the part okay which we have seen in 1.py. So then after this, okay, so this is our first class person, and this is our second class, okay, student. So let us understand what is this student class and what is this person class. So person class is our parent class. From this class we are trying to derive our new class. Name of that class is student. Only at the time of defining that class, what kind of changes we'll be doing, that we'll understand. This part okay already I explained in 1.py okay of this section. So let us will be creating okay child class. To create a child class, I'm reading some information. To create a child class that inherits the functionality from the another class, okay, send the parent class as a parameter when creating the child class. Very important statement. When child class is created, at that time in the definition of child class, what will be doing, so parent name of parent class okay, that will become parameter for the child class. So this is student is my child class, okay, student is my child class. So name of class we have written, this is the definition of child class. And name of class keyword, then one blank space, then name of the child class. So student is our child class, and in the round bracket parameter will be what for this child class. So name of our parent class which is person, name of our parent class which is our person, this parent class name of parent class will become okay parameter for the child class. In this way we can create our child class. Then colon represents start or mm, start of the body or start of the block for the this student class. But we are passing okay, we are writing simple past statement over here. It means I don't want to use any extra property or method for the student class. To understand this, only simply what we did over here, we created okay, we created new class. Name of that class is student, and that student class will be deriving from parent class. Name of that parent class is person, which will be becoming okay parameter for this new class student. And in this way we can create okay child class or derived class from the base class. So here we can understand, this is student is our okay child class, and person is our base class. Student is our derived class, or person is our parent class. In this way we can understand. So with the help of statement number 21 and 22, we can derive okay, we can derive our child class. Next, X is our object. Okay, similarly, X can be object or any another name also we can write. Okay, Y I will use. So Y will be the okay, Y will be the object for student class, which is our child class. Then we can write Y is equal to student is our child class, and in the round bracket, what we can write, we can write arguments. Remaining things will remain as it is. Okay, Rahul is our first argument, second is Shinde. So these two arguments will be passing. Okay, then with the help of object Y will be executing okay method, which is actually this is the method. This method we have defined in our person class. Okay, this method we have defined in our person class. It means properties and methods, okay, properties and methods which are actually part of our parent class. These properties and methods can be used, can be accessed directly from the child class. So that kind of feature we'll be getting if we'll be using inheritance concept in our program. And so why is our object is equal to student is our name of the child class, and in the round bracket we'll be passing two arguments Rahul and Shinde. So this Rahul gets stored, okay, here in the first name and last name, which are property of person class, which is our parent class. And what we'll be doing, so with the help of y which is object of this child class, okay, y dot and print name. So this is the method. You can observe over here, this is the print method is the method of person class. This method will be calling with the help of object y, where y object is the object for our child class or derived class student. That is possible, and it is possible because of this inheritance concept. So I'm executing this program. First of all, because of this it will ask, okay, so different name will write, okay, so Ganesh, they, these two values will be accepted, okay, because of this object x, where object x is object of parent class, okay, where object x is parent object of parent class person. So I'm pressing enter key. After pressing enter key, what will happen? Rahul and Shinde, these two arguments gets passed. Object is created. Okay, object y is created for this child class, and these two values which will be passing as argument, it will be passed, and because of this print method, which will be part or which will be defined or which will be part of this, this is the method of person class that will be accessed, and will get, okay, Rahul Shinde on the output console. I'm pressing enter key. So Ganesh Shinde, this is the output because of which this is the output. So this output will be getting because of X object. Okay, we can understand in this way. These three statements from the output console will be getting output because of X object, where X is the object of parent class person. Okay, X is the object of parent class person, and y is the object for child class, okay, where child class is our student, person is our parent class, so child class, and for this child class y is the object which we have created in statement number 24. Two arguments will be passing. Because of this output, okay, Rahul Shinde will be displayed on the output console because of this, because of the object y, where object y is object of child class. In this way, inheritance concept can be used, okay, in the Python. So I will be moving towards next program 3.py, where we'll understand, okay, with one more example of um, same example. Only what we'll be doing, we'll be using, okay, init function will be using in the, can we use this question we can ask ourselves, can we use init function for child class? So answer is yes. How it can be used, that we'll see, okay, with one example. So class person, where person is our class, which is our parent class, colon represents start or body of the person class. So these in this body, okay, two functions we have defined. So let us not waste our time, because this part already we have seen, okay. F name, L name, okay, F name, L name, these are the parameters whose value will be coming from the main script that we have seen. And first name and last name, okay, these are the properties of person class, and self is our parameter. This is the first parameter which will be helping us to assign the values which will be coming from the main script to the class. Okay, then print name is our first method of person class, and self is the parameter which we'll be using, because of which we can access properties first name and last name in the user defined function print name, which is method of this person class. Okay, then this is the definition where two functions we defined, okay, class is person is our parent class, then okay, Now we'll focus our second class, which is name of the class is student, and in the round bracket, if name of the class is written person, it means student is our derived class, person is our person is our parent class, student is our derived class or child class, and in this class, colon represents start of the main function. Start of the sorry Colon represents start of the definition of class student. So def is the keyword. Def is the keyword init function we used over here in the round bracket. Again, same thing, we'll be writing self comma fn ln. So same thing. Same function we'll be writing, same init function we are trying to write in the student, which is our derived class, and person is our parent class. Then for this, while defining this init function, colon represents start of the definition of init function. So indentation is required. So person dot, let us understand what is this. Person dot init, it means this function will be calling, this function which is actually part of person function, that init function we are calling with the help of, with the help of, in this case, person will become object. In that way we can remember person which will become object. So person, then dot operator, then init function, this function will be calling, and in the round bracket we can write our parameters. Self is our first parameter, f name is our second parameter, l name is our third parameter. So in this way, init function can be used in the derived class student or child class student. So x is object. Let us understand now what will happen. X is object is equal to name of class is student. It means x is the object for child class or derived class student. And in the round bracket, we are passing arguments. Rahul Shinde. So Rahul is our first name FN. Shinde is our last name ln. These values will be stored because of this base class or parent class person. And what we'll be doing, so print name method will be calling with the help of object x, where x is object of student class, x is object of child class, x is object of derived class. So x dot, print name round bracket. So these values will be passed. Meaning is same, only what we'll be doing here, we are understanding if suppose init method, init function which is built-in method in Python, can we use it in the derived class? So answer is yes. And how we can access the values, which how we can access the values or properties or methods in the child or derived class with the help of person object in the definition of init function. So person which will become object, then dot operator, and entire init function can be written over here. So if I will execute this program, we'll get on the output screen, output console, Rahul Shinde will be displayed. I'm executing this program, Rahul Shinde. It means in short, init method, it can be used, it can be used in the derived or child class. Only what we need to do in the definition, we need to use name of the class as object. So person, then dot, and then entire init function which we defined in person, which is our parent class. So similarly we can write it, and in this way we can use init function in the child or derived class. X is our object. X is our object. X is the object for child class or derived class. This student is equal to student, and in the round bracket, what we can write. We can pass our arguments. That's it. So let us move towards 4.py. Now here we'll understand. Super function, use of super function. So I will read some information. Python also has a super function. That will make a child class inherit all methods and properties from its parent class. So this is the function, okay, super function. We'll be calling it as super function, and it will also help us, okay, it will also help us to access properties and methods of parent class in the child class or derived class. Now, in earlier example, we have seen with the help of init function, which is built-in method that we can use in both, okay, parent and child class. Now, here we'll understand super function, which is one more function. Again, this function also will help us to inherit, okay, properties and methods and properties from its parent class. So if you'll observe now, let us observe carefully. Okay, class person colon represents start of body or block of the parent class. Okay, so two functions we have defined. Init is our built-in method. Print name is our user-defined method in Python. So these two functions usually normally 3 to 4 times we have defined, so let us not waste our time to understand. This is the definition. Simply this is the definition of parent class. This is the definition of, okay, child class. Student is our new class, and this student we have derived from person class. So person will become parameter. So meaning from this, okay, Python interpreter will understand student is our child class which we have derived from person class. Person is our parent or base class. Student is our child or derived class. Again, init function we have defined. Okay, init function we have defined def. Okay, def is the keyword init function. So how we defined in parent class. Okay, similarly we are defining in our child class colon. Instead of writing person dot, here we can use, okay, super method or super function, which is built-in function in Python. Instead of writing name of the uh, parent class as object, so we can write super method, super function, then dot operator, then init function, and in the round bracket we can pass our arguments. Okay, we can pass our arguments. Only what is the difference? While writing init, we are not writing again self over here. So if we'll compare, okay, program number 3.py, where we used, okay, person name of the parent class, then dot, then init function, but here we use self, okay. But in 4.py only, what is the difference? If we'll be using super method, super function, in that case, we are not writing, okay, name of the parent class over here. We are writing super function, round brackets, then dot operator, then init method we will be writing as usual. But here uh, parameters will be, okay, or arguments will be excluding self. Okay, so self we are not using self, which we used over here. When we'll be writing name of the class, at that time self will be using. But in case of 4.py, where we are using super method, super function, in that case self parameter will not be using, okay, here. That only we can understand. Remaining part will remain as it is. Okay, x is the, again, x is object, is equal to student, which is our derived class. So x is object of derived class, x is object of child class, and in the round bracket again two arguments, two informations will be passing from main script, Rahul and Chinde. Again, print name, if you will observe print name, that is the method. Okay, this is the print name is the method of person class, where person is parent class. But because of this super method, super function, and init function, we can use properties and methods of our parent class. So x is object of child class, dot print name is the method of our parent class or base class, that will be calling with the help of object of child class. So x is object of child class, x dot print name. So Rahul Chinde will be printed. Let us check it. Here also we'll get of the same output. Only here we understood how to use, okay, super function. So super function will also help us to inherit the methods and properties of its from its, okay, from its parent class. So instead of writing name of the class over here, then dot operator, init method and self we are writing, but if we'll be using super function, in that case self we are not using, rest of the part will remain same. Once again I'm reading, okay. So by using super function, we do not have to use, okay, name of the parent element. We do not have to use name of the parent element. It will automatically inherit the methods and properties from its parent class. So this is the way with which we can use super method, super function in the uh, Python. Okay, so let us go towards next program where we'll understand, okay, instead of Mike we'll use, okay, Indian names, Ram and, okay. Now here what we'll be doing, if suppose any property I want to add, so can I add it in child class? So answer is yes. Let us understand it. So class, where we'll be understanding. So this is the definition. Now I will not explain more because you might have, okay, understood this, how to define uh, parent class, how to define child class, okay. So this is the definition, okay. This is the definition of a parent class. Name of that parent class is person, where two functions are defined, okay, init and print name, okay. This is this is our child class. This is the definition of child class, where student is our child class, person is parent class. Def is the keyword with which we are using our init function. Self is first parameter. Here also same thing, okay. Fname, lname, these are the parameters whose value will be coming from the main script that we have seen. Okay, super function, we have understood use of super function in last program 4.py. Dot operator, with the help of dot operator, what we can do, we can call our init function, then in the round bracket we can pass our arguments without using self parameter. Now only one thing we will be understanding, if suppose any new property if we want to add, so new property can be added for the student class, which is derived class from this person class, which is parent class over here. So this is the property. In this way property can be added, okay, property can be added. Extra property, if suppose we want to add, that can be added in the child class, that is possible. So self is the parameter which we have used over here in the definition of init function. See here, this is the definition of init function. In the definition of init function we used, okay, super function, and in the definition of init function of the student class itself will be adding one more property of this student class, where graduation year, if suppose I want to add, where 2019 is the graduation year for the student Ram Shinde, okay. So that we have added over here with the help of self parameter. Self dot graduation year is the property, okay, which is the property of child class student. In this way we can add new or extra property for the child class. Now here, statement number 14, where we'll be creating object for student class. Student is our child class. Okay, x is equal to student child class. Then in the round bracket we'll be passing our arguments. Ram Shinde. So Ram Shinde gets stored in this first name and last name that we have seen. Okay, only we'll understand how to access property of new property which we added in the student class. So print in the round bracket, I can write, okay, x is our object, then dot operator graduation year, directly we can write. So x dot graduation year, in this way we can access value which we have stored in the new property which we have added in the student class, that is 2019. So it will display result on the output console as 2019. So to understand that message, simply I will write over here graduation okay, is year is this message will be displayed 2019. Graduation year is 2019. That message will be displayed on the output console. Let us check it. Graduation year is 2019. And if you want to display, okay, name of the student, the first name and last name of the student, in that case, what can be done? Print function can be used. Okay, double quotes. Here I can write first name. Okay, first name. Simply comma can be given. Then x dot. Okay, x dot first name. Similarly, control in control C, control V, X last name, X dot last name. So I will save it, and if I will execute it, we'll get okay. First name is Ram, okay. Last name is Shinde, and graduation spelling of graduation. Okay. So first name is Ram, last name is Shinde, graduation year is 2009. In this way, if certain properties for child class, if you want to increase, you can add. So this is the program where we understood. Here I will write, okay, adding adding new properties for the child child or okay derived class. What we understood over here, so if we wanted to add for our child or derived class, that is possible. So graduation year is new property for the student class. Here f name l name, okay, f name l name, these are the properties for this person class. We can use it. Plus plus the student class can have its own properties. So graduation year is the own property of the student, that also we can add it. And how to add it? With the help of self parameter, then dot operator, name of that property is equal to, we can assign any value. For example, if suppose blood group you want to add for that student, so here I can write, okay, so here self dot bg, where bg is blood group. Here I can write, okay, ab positive, universal acceptor. Let us consider AB positive. Okay, it means Ram Shinde is okay universal acceptor AB positive. So can we add it? Okay, so BG is new property. Blood group will be adding for this student class. Okay, and if I will write, okay, blood group, so print. Let us check it. Print blood group, and here we'll display it x dot pg. So I will save it, I will execute it. So program will be executed, it will display all the information which we will be using over here. So first name Ram, okay, last name Shinde, graduation year is 2019, and blood group is AB positive. So here two properties which we added over here, okay. These are the properties of student class. So graduation and blood group, these are not properties of person class. It means new properties, new methods also, okay, we can use for this child or derived class. That is the feature we will be getting because of this inheritance concept. Okay, let us move towards next one, that is where we'll understand add a year parameter. Okay, if suppose new parameter, if we want to add from our main script, okay, if value of new parameter, if we wanted to pass from our main script, that is also possible. Pass the correct year when creating object, that only we need to consider. So this is the definition of parent class person, where two functions we define. Init is our built-in method which will be executed when object is created. Print name is our method of this person class, where person is our parent class. Now let us understand, okay, definition of child class, where student is our child class, person is the parent class. From this person class we derived the student class. Init is our function. In the round bracket we'll be passing, okay, how many arguments? In this case, four arguments. Self will be by default first argument, okay. First parameter we will call it as parameter. Name is our second parameter. L name is our third parameter, and here is our fourth parameter. Super is our function that we have seen. Dot operator, then init function. Without using self, we can write our first argument, second argument, okay, then year, which is our third argument. And if suppose graduation year, see here, this year, the year is the new uh, property, we will call it as, but this property will be coming from the main script. In that case, one variable we need to add, that we have added over here, year. That year can be anything, okay, year can be anything. But when I will be writing, okay, self dot graduation year is equal to year, so this year which will be passing from the main script, it will become automatically graduation year. Here this year can be, okay, academic year. This year can be birth year, okay, birth year, okay, birth year. This can be any year. But when it will be passed from main script to here, it will become year. But this year we wanted to consider it as a graduation year. That is possible with the help of self dot graduation year is equal to year. In this case, what will happen? 2019 will become graduation year. In this way, what happens, if arguments will be passing, okay, and these arguments, uh, year, this is the year, extra argument. See here, this year is not, okay, part of this main function, part of the parent class, but this year, which is the extra argument, will be passing for our student class, which we have derived from person class. That is possible. Only what we need to do while defining our init function for the student child class at that time. So arguments, if we'll be passing three arguments, then there will be three parameters and extra parameter that we should not supposed to miss, forget. That is our first parameter, it is self parameter. So these three arguments will become, for these three arguments we'll be writing three parameters: fn, fname, lname, and year. And because of this super function, we can use our init method, okay, first name, last name, and extra, okay, extra argument which will be coming over here in the form of year. That year I wanted to consider it as, okay, graduation year. In that case, what will happen? Self dot graduation year is equal to year. Because of this statement, what will happen, year which will be coming from the main script, it will become graduation year. One more example I wanted to give over here. Let us understand, okay, let us understand. I will write, okay, self, we'll check it, self dot birth year is equal to, okay, year, b year. Here I will write b year. And here also I will mention that variable b year, birth year. And let us add one more, say 2000 is, okay, birth year for this Rahul Chinde. Let us consider. So in this case, what will happen? It will not throw any kind of error. Only birth year, okay, that needs to be displayed on the output console. And if you want to display, you can write, okay, birth year in double quote, birth year. Here I can write x dot birth year, x dot birth year. Then here we can write it is graduation year, comma, graduation year. Before this, if suppose you want to display name of the first name of the student, double quote, first name, comma, x dot first name, correct. Similarly, control insert, copy, shift insert, कंट्रोल सी कॉपी, कंट्रोल V पेस्ट. ओके, इकडे थोडंसं वेगळं आहे. Then here I can write last name, save it, F, close it, and if I will execute now, okay, if I will execute now, here in this case we passed, okay, how many arguments? 4 arguments. So here we need to write, okay, five parameters. Okay, first 5 parameters. Rahul value will be stored in F name. Shinde value will be stored in L name. 2019, which is our year, which will be stored in year, and 2000, okay, 20, it is birth year. So in this way, what will happen? All the values get stored in the properties of student class, out of which first name and F name and L name, these are the properties of, okay, parent class. I'm executing this program, so we'll get output in this way. First name is Rahul, last name is Shinde. So here I made mistake. Here I will write, okay, last name. Now if I will execute it, we'll get correct answer. Okay, first name is Rahul, last name is Shinde, graduation year is 2019 and birth year is 2000. Again, one more thing, if suppose this year which is coming in the form of, okay, general form, and this year if you wanted to make it another year, okay, suppose this is year down year, in that case what we can do, instead of graduation year, okay, here I can write, I will pass comment to this and I can write self, okay, dot yd year down year down year down. Yd means what? Year down. Okay, so I can write year, and let us pass comment to this statement, and here I can write, okay, print double quote year down yd year असं लिहूया आपण. ठीक आहे, yd year, yd झालेलंच year कधी, तर x dot yd. With this it will display, okay, year down year. Okay, yd year is 2019. So 2019, which was, okay, graduation year. Same thing, if suppose you want to modify immediately, you can modify it as a yd year down year. That is possible. This is the flexibility we'll be getting if we'll be using, okay, inheritance concept. We can add, okay, any kind of parameter that we have seen over here. So let us stop here.